everyone. I'm Tanya Matthew, an interactor of the Interact Club of Lotus Valley International School, Noida. Today I'm here with my fellow interactors, Gurveen Kaur, Nimisha Sharma, and Manya Mittal. And we're here to talk about the environment as a part of our Project Vatavaran on the environment.
Hi, I'm Gurveen.
Hi, I'm Nimisha.
Yeah, and I'm Manu.
To begin with, my first question to you is, why is the environment considered so important?
I think the environment means anything that surrounds us. So it can be living or non-living things, including physical, chemical, and other natural forces.
Yeah, the environment includes like everything: plants, soil, water, animals, etc.
Environment is of great significance in the survival of human beings because it maintains the balance of life and provides us with the basic necessities and facilities like food, water, soil, medicines, and many more things.
Oh, okay, understood. Why exactly is environmental damage so harmful?
The most basic explanation for it is that environmental damage, it can lead to the depletion of resources, which is obviously very sorry it is very like harmful because it can lead to the depletion of the quality of air, water quality, and even soil, and destruction of ecosystem. It can also lead to the destruction of habitat for animals and other organisms. And all this in turn can lead to the spread of fatal diseases like cancer, respiratory issues, heart diseases, asthma, and many other illnesses.
Yes, and a lot of natural calamities like floods, droughts, earthquakes, all of this is also caused by environmental damage, and all of this can lead to unimaginable loss for everyone.
Oh, yes, it definitely leaves an impact. But how do you think humans are contributing to this? How are humans harming the environment? What human activities are the most harmful per se?
I think when we say humans are destroying the environment, in a way we are implementing the fact that humans are destroying themselves. So humans are causing environmental damage in many ways. For example, by burning fossil fuels, cutting down trees, use of excessive plastic. So basically, by cutting down their own resources, they're affecting their quality of life.
Human beings do this to satisfy their own personal needs, like constructing huge buildings, overconsumption, killing animals for their own profits. These are some of the reasons as to why humans engage in such activities. These activities include extinction of wildlife, like the extinction of species is actually a part of nature's cycle. Over 99% of the 4 billion species evolved since the beginning of life on Earth are now extinct. However, rates of extinction of various species have been increasing rapidly in the past century. Since 1900, nearly 500 species of animals have gone extinct.
Right, rightly said. Can you tell us a little more about climate change and global warming?
Climate change has serious and evident effects on the environment around us, such as the melting of glaciers, which is leading to a drastic rise in sea levels, ultimately leading to global warming. This can cause entire island countries to be submerged. Atlantis might have been a myth, but we'll have ruins underwater soon enough at this rate.
Yeah, changes in temperature also mean that droughts and floods are more frequent and more extreme. And both these situations are directly harmful to human life. They also cause cyclones to become more frequent and intense.
Yes, and not only that, but climate change poses a serious threat to many species of plants and animals, and entire communities and ecosystems. Regulating and reversing climate change is one of mankind's biggest issues if we want to keep our planet alive.
Oh, all right. But do you think climate change directly harms plants and animals?
I think any change in the climate of a region can affect the plants and animals, the flora and the fauna that live there. Some animals they might adapt and migrate, but others can have trouble surviving. For example, if the ice in the Arctic Ocean disappears, the animals that depend on this ice they won't have anywhere else to go.
Yeah, climate change also alters plants and animals' life cycles. For example, some flowers are blooming earlier in the spring, while some animals are migrating at different times.
Oh, I see. Okay. I see. Lately, global warming has become a very widely discussed topic. Could you please elaborate on that?
Yes, so most people already know that global warming is caused by the extreme amount of greenhouse gases present in the atmosphere. So I think while some amounts of these gases are essential for survival, the least extremes can have serious impacts. And the smallest changes in temperature can cause huge imbalances in nature and a very evident impact on plant and animal life.
For example, just a 1 or 2 degree increase in global temperature can lead to a much greater risk for wildfires.
Also, if you know about the Australian bushfires of 2019 and 20, do you know about it?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a very serious matter which killed a lot of people, and it has made the koala species of animals a very endangered species because they are not found anywhere else. And while I was going through some articles on the net regarding the Australian bushfires, I found that climate change has had a huge role to play in the starting of the Black Summer, which are basically the smokes which cause the clouds to be black. So they named it Black Summer. Uh, because see, the greenhouse gases they made the fires intense, and that is why they lasted longer.
Oh, wow, I did not know that. That. How does water scarcity add to all this?
Water scarcity is a serious issue in many parts of the world. Humans extensively use groundwater, leading to a shortage.
yes, and India is the country that pumps the most groundwater than any other. We have reached a water supply that threatens to upend political and economic stability and long term public health.
In fact, ours is not the only country which faces this issue. Countries like South Africa, Mexico, Egypt, and so many more, they face similar issues and problems.
Right.
Oh, we've talked about global warming and stuff, not stuff. We've talked about global warming before, but why exactly is it or a rise in the Earth's average temperature a problem?
Temperature plays an important role in how nature works, and even a small change in average temperature can have a huge impact on plants, animals, and other natural processes. For example, just a 1 to 2 degree increase in global temperature can lead to a much greater risk of wildfires. Some parts of the world are warming a lot more than average, which means the effects are much more dramatic and dangerous.
Ozone layer depletion has also become a popular topic recently. Is it a part of environmental damage?
Yes, definitely. The UV light, so the ozone layer prevents most harmful wavelengths of the ultraviolet light from passing through the Earth's atmosphere. And these wavelengths can cause skin cancer or sunburns, permanent blindness, and even cataracts. So this is why the ozone hole or depletion in the ozone layer is generating worldwide concern over increased cancer risks and many other negative effects.
It is indefinitely a part of environmental damage because it disrupts many biological processes and a number of materials.
Oh, that is interesting. Do you think you could tell me a little more about deforestation?
Yeah, sure. Deforestation is one of the most obvious causes of global warming, as trees produce oxygen and reduce greenhouse gases in the air. It has also resulted in the extinction of various animals since forests are their habitat. Since 2016, an average of 28 million hectares have been cut down every year, which is one football field of forest lost every single second around the clock. At the current rate, all of the world's rainforests will disappear within the next 80 years.
We very obviously, I think we can't avoid this situation because we humans and even animals, they can't live without the resources which come from forests like wood, papers, medicines, etc. A lot of times forests have to be cleared up for making space for housing for humans or agriculture, which is like the main activity which provides food and wages to farmers, and it's the 60%. It's the most um, feasible activity for 60% of India.
Yeah, reforestation and conservation of surviving forests is an important step to control the amount of greenhouse gases present in the atmosphere and hence reversing climate change.
Climate change is definitely a big issue all of us as humanity collectively face. Do you think we really can reverse climate change? And what do you think we will need to do?
Yes, I definitely think it is possible to reverse climate change. It will be hard, but it's definitely possible. And so for that, I think we must all move away from fossil fuels and instead focus on using and developing renewable resources such as hydropower and solar and wind energy.
Yeah, I think those resources can be the future of our country because many of the resources, if they are depleted or diminished, these are the renewable resources are the only way out of adverse conditions for our future generations.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, we must all try to become carbon neutral, which basically means reducing the amount of carbon dioxide you produce and partaking in activities like planting trees to negate the amount of carbon dioxide you produce.
What are some small steps that all of us can take to stop environmental damage? What are some practices that we should involve in our daily life?
Now we have been learning the concept of the 3 R's since the grade. But do you think it can actually contribute to saving the environment?
Yes, definitely.
Exactly, because see, you can cut down on what you throw away and instead use it for reusing products like plastic bottles, plastic bags. And I recently heard of a very unique concept of reusing milk packets because they don't decompose and are very harmful for the environment. So you can put lids, the lids that you use in daily life, and put those in by creating a hole in the packet and put the lid inside of it, so that the products don't go so say क्या बोलते हैं sale, yeah, the products don't go stale and sour, and it be reused. And yeah, it's a very good thing for storing stuff also. And you can recycle them and make another item that could be useful for you. Even many artists nowadays, they think of going the green way, like they use newspapers and other waste products to create some very interesting art pieces.
We should also shop wisely. Instead of buying plastic bags for daily use, we should try to incorporate the usage of cloth bags, for example, jute bags. Also, spread awareness about how plastic bags are used excessively all around the world, which can lead to further destruction of the environment. Take initiative to educate.
Yes, and I think we can also volunteer for cleanups, plantation drives, or protection of the watershed in your communities or societies. And this will not only make you happy, by doing something for our planet, but it will also encourage people around you to think wise and take impactful steps to conserve the environment.
Yes, and sustainable management of resources is a very, very crucial matter at this point, because we all know the situation of our environment. And I feel like our future generations, if we actually want the earth to keep going, I think we should reserve resources for our future generations to actually survive and then procreate and keep our generations and uh, like keep our upcoming generation. Sorry, and keep keep the earth an active and a happy place.
And also, I think change starts with you. So don't wait for anybody to come up to you or, tell you what to do. I think we all can start at our own levels, try to cut down on our plastic use. And if we see anybody wasting water, for example, I think all, the least we can do is tell them to reduce or, be
Yeah,
careful using the resources.
like the very basic individual steps.
And that too will make a lot of change, maybe on a very small scale, but it will definitely make an impact.
Oh, wow. I definitely learned a lot today, and I'm going to try to incorporate this into my life as well. Um, I think this
Definitely.
leads to the end of our discussion, but thank you all for this wonderful conversation that we had, especially.
Thank you for having us, Tanya.
Thank
It
you
was a
so much.
pleasure.
It was a very interesting take, and I got to know about other perspectives also.
Yes.
This is
Yes,
so
also
knowledgeable for us.
especially because this is such an important matter at this moment, because it is only now that we can try and reverse the effects that climate change has had.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you, Manya, Gurveen, and Nimisha for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you.